This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So the yesterday class, what we had discussed we'll go for the revision and then we'll start the today class. So we discussed what is dimension table. We discussed what is fact. We discussed yesterday. What is dimension, guys? What is dimension?
So the textual information of
Yeah.
text.
Yeah. So whenever we are loading the data from the textual description of the data in a table, those kind of tables we called as a dimension tables. Okay. And then what is fact?
So like the numerical values that can be used in calculations.
In this database, we are using some calculations part.
Okay. Any other answers?
Measures of calculated interest for calculation.
It also store on numerical values.
Yeah. All are correct only, guys. So the mainly we called as a fact is nothing but the measures of calculated interest. Okay. So it will store the numerical value. So in the fact table, we are going to store numerical values to calculate the analyze the aggregate the data to aggregate the data. Okay. Yeah. So we have the three types of facts are there. One is the additive fact, semi-additive fact, and non-additive fact. So what is additive fact, guys? Anyone? And with example, I want with example. Can you please tell me the what is additive fact and example?
So it will be only calculated with respect to dimension tables. By the
No, so you have to tell some terminology. You have to tell to some terminology.
Additive fact, it is like we can sum up through all the dimensions in the fact table, and the columns could be amount, quantity, something which has some numerical value, and that can be summed up.
Yeah. So, 1 second, guys. So the additive fact is a fact. So additive fact is a fact. So whatever the dimensions are there in the fact table, okay, all the dimensions we can able to use summation that particular tab fact table. Okay, that goes by using that particular fact, we can able to sum all the dimension tables, dimension keys. Sorry, not table, dimension keys present in the fact table. Okay, example amount or quantity. Okay, these kind of measures. Okay, semi-additive means we can able to sum by using the few of the dimension keys. We can able to, but not others. Okay, those kind of facts we call as a semi-additive facts. Example, inventory or current balance. This kind of measures. Okay, non-additive means so we can't able to sum any of the dimension keys that particular fact. Okay, those kind of facts we call as a non-additive fact. Okay, example means derived measures or ratio kind of measures. Derived measures or ratio kind of measures. Example, profit ratio. Okay, so these are we discussed in the yesterday class. Okay, then we'll go for today. And also, guys, please remember these fact names. Sometimes they ask the table names. Can you give me some table names in your project? Okay, the interview point of view. So you have to remember these table names. DIM location, DIM customer, DIM vendor. Okay, DIM EMP means employee, DIM product, DIM browser. These are the different. Sorry, guys. Different types of dimension tables. So come to the fact underscore sales, fact underscore inventory, fact underscore plant sales, stock ledger, purchase order. So these are the related to the fact related tables. Okay. Now we'll go for the now dimension models. So the dimension models are there are the two types of mainly they are going to use in the real time. There are two types of dimension models are there. One is the star schema and another is a snowflake schema. these two are the dimension models. Okay, these two are the dimension models they're going to use in the data warehousing. Another also few dimension models are there, but those are the Galaxy schema, and fact contextual schema, I think. So those we can't bother because we were not using anywhere the real time also. Yeah, fact consultation schema. Okay, so we no need to focus on these things. Mainly in the interview point of view or real time point of view, these are the two schemas we are going to use in the any of the project, either star schema or snowflake schema. Okay, even interview point of view also they will ask only this question: what is star schema, what is snowflake schema? Okay, so we'll discuss the before this one. So before we are going to this, we'll discuss the what is ER model, what is dimension model. So ER model is nothing but the, so I told the eliminate the data redundancy means eliminate the duplicates. Here the mainly it will be used for the ER model. It eliminate the data redundancy. So eliminate the data redundancy is nothing but the, it won't allow the any duplicates. Okay, it won't allow any duplicates. So that day I given one example. So if the employee is there, employee 101 RAM, salary will be 10,000 and QA. So if any changes happen this record, it will going to update only. It won't add as a new record. So for example, the change will be it's happened 12,000. It's going to override the data here. Okay. So that is a because of the data, because of the primary key and foreign key relation, parent child relationship. Because of this employee will be only one for in the company. They will give only unique record, right? Employee ID will be unique. So they won't give same employee ID into different persons. Okay, for one employee code will be unique only in the company or organization anywhere. That's why they are going to apply here the primary key. They're going to apply the employee key is a primary key here. Okay, that's why it won't allow the second record. If we enter, we have to enter also. It will throw the unique violation, violation error. Okay, so that is why it will follow the ER model is a seeks to eliminate the data redundancy. Okay, so that is the reason they're going for the dimension models. So here they are going to use by using the surrogate key concept. We have the surrogate key concept that I will explain in the ETL time. Okay, they're going to maintain like this. The data will be they're going to maintain like this. The dimension model. RAM 12,000 key. So whatever the data we are extracting from the OLTP. So this is the surrogate key. So one is the surrogate key. Means what surrogate key is nothing but a sequence key. Sequence generator. So now you can see this is not a duplicate record, right? Now it's not a duplicate record. So here we are using this concept. We are using the surrogate key concept. They're loading the data, all the data, whatever the data is, ER data, ER model data or OLTP data. We are loading into the OLAP system, data warehousing. So here we are maintaining the history like this. We are going to maintain, but this concept is not available in the ER model. Okay, that's why we call it this is a data model is a denormalized data, and ER model is a normalized data. So it won't allow the duplicates in the ER side, ER model side, OLTP system. But in the OLAP, we are going to allow the duplicates. This is the duplicate only. If you remove this one, it will be duplicates only, right? But if you see the entire record, it won't be a duplicate. Okay. This model is difficult to read to understand unless train the model methodology. Also, it is difficult to understand the business from the viewing of the ER model. Because we have to write the query, you have to write the complex queries here. The stored parks to understand the entire data, they have to write the stored parks, all those things, and then only if you know those stored parks, everything, you can able to understand analyze the data here. Okay. come to the dimension models. So dimension model is a denormalized data. It will allow the duplicates also. Duplicate is nothing but we are handling the duplicates here by using the surrogate key concepts. Okay. So it's not a original duplicates. Okay. The name of the logical design technique used for the data warehousing. Every dimension model is a composed of the fact table and set of dimension tables. Okay, you know what is dimension, what is fact table. So these dimension model they're going to build based on the fact table and dimension tables. Okay, based on the fact table and dimension tables. So these are example only. I will explain those examples here. Okay. So in the data warehousing, they're mainly focusing on a 4-dimension models. One is a star schema, one is a snowflake schema, galaxy schema, fat constellation schema. Okay, but we are going to focus on a star schema and snowflake schema. I'll do the diagram. For example, just I'm taking one fact table, guys. That is fact sales. Okay, I'm taking the fact sales, fact underscore sales. Okay, so here I'm going to the column names also. Product ID, product ID, store ID, date ID, customer ID, store product ID, date ID, product ID. Okay, so quantity and then amount. So these kind of measures I'm taking the here. Product ID, store ID, date ID, customer ID, quantity and amount. So these are my fact table. Okay. Come to the, I'm going to take one more table, that is a dimension table. So the dimension table, I'll do all those things. Okay. So here I'm taking the score date. So I'm taking the date ID, date, day, a week start date or something, weekday, something like that. The columns are there. Okay. So here I'm going to take dim underscore location, store ID, store name, location name, state, district, something, region or state. So like that I'm given the some attributes. I'm taking the dim underscore location table. Okay. So here I'm going to use the product dim underscore product table. So in this dim underscore product table also I'm going to take few columns: product ID, product name, product description, okay, brand name, brand ID, brand code, something. Okay, I just taken the few things I have taken. Same here, dim customer table. Okay, the dim customer table also I'm going to take the customer ID. Sorry, what happened? Customer ID, name, phone number, email or address, something like that I have taken. So So one fact table surrounded with the multiple dimension tables. Here you can see one fact table surrounded with the multiple dimension table. It's look like a star only. It look like a star. That's why star schema is nothing but the one centralized fact table is connected with the multiple dimension table, one or more dimension tables. That is called as a star schema. Okay, how it's going to connect? So here they are going to give the date ID to date ID join connection. Okay, here a stored ID to store ID. Okay, like this it is going to connect product ID. So like that. So if you want to retrieve, I want to retrieve particular week, okay, particular store, okay, all product information per particular customer. Then we have to write the join will be in these all joins. I can able to write the join, and then I can able to get the data, right? So these are fact star schema is nothing but the one centralized fact table, any fact table connected with the multiple dimension tables. So it's looking like a star. That's why we call as a the naming convention it called as a star schema. Okay, star schema is nothing but the one fact table is connected with the multiple dimension tables. Okay, so we have the two types of star schemas are there: simple star schema, complex star schema. Simple star schema is nothing but the only one fact table it will be connected. Complex means like this only different fact inventory. You can take one more fact inventory. Again, those fact inventory is connected with the multiple dimension tables. A fact purchase, a fact stock ledger. So like that, more than one fact table will be connected with the multiple dimension tables. Okay. A star schema is one which is a central fact table surrounded by renormalized dimension tables. Denormalized dimension tables. A star schema can be simple or complex. A simple star schema consists of one fact table, whereas for complex star schema have more than one fact table. You can see here clearly. Able to see, right? So these are primary keys. Okay, these are the foreign keys. Time dimension, so time is date dimension, both are the same. Time dimension, store dimension, product dimension. Okay, so this store dimension is a primary key, and then they connected with the FK store underscore ID. Okay, and this time dimension will be here. Product dimension will be like this. So whatever the dimensions are there, so related to the this table, sales table. So all the dimension they are going to connect with the this fact sales. Okay, these look like a star only. That's why they called as a star schema. Any doubts, guys? Here, star schema. Okay, so they will ask the interview what is star schema. The star schema, you have to tell star schema is a one fact table, one centralized fact table is connected with the multiple. Either it could be one dimension or two dimension or three dimension or 10 dimensions also. Okay, one or more dimension tables. Okay, that is a star schema. Okay, we'll see what is the advantages and the disadvantages of the star schema. Okay, what is the advantages and disadvantages of the star schema? So advantages is nothing but the it is for by looking only it will be easy to understand. Okay, easy to understand, easy to analyze the data here. Because we are only direct one-to-one mapping is there, connections are there. Directly we are going to give the join condition, and we can able to write the queries, and we can able to analyze the data. What are the sales, particular week sales, particular store and particular brand data, product data, we can able to analyze it clearly. So this is easy to understand. Easy to understand. Then what is the disadvantages of the star schema means whatever the data is there. So all the data is loading into the single table only here. Because for example customers. So every day it will be new customers or it will be old customers. Millions of customers it will come, right? Lakhs of customers. For example, take the central only. Entire India, how many transactions will happen for one day? It's a huge amount of data it will generate, right? Okay, so those all the customers information will load into one table. those all the data is going to load into one place, it will be, the performance will be decreased. The table size automatically it will increase day to day, so automatically performance will be decreased. Okay, that is a disadvantage of the query performance will be decreased. So whenever the loading the data from the OLTP to OLAP, it has to check. It has to check, right? That this customer is already existing customer or new customer. For example, 1 lakh records are there like this one, same thing. So 1 lakh records are there. Okay, it has to check this 101 is already existing or not every day, and then it has to load the data. If the new customer or existing customer, they can't find, right? They can't do check every day. So that is the reason the table size will be day to day, it will increase. Day to day, it will increase the table size. Automatically, the query performance will be decreased in the star schema. That is a disadvantage of the star schema. Advantage means it can able to easy to understand the project functionality, can able to easy to analyze the data here. Okay, any doubts guys here? Let's come to the Snowflake schema. Snowflake schema is nothing but it's an extension of the star schema. It's an extension of the star schema. Means the dimension table, whatever the dimensions are there here, whatever the dimensions are there here, these dimensions they're going to split into, extend into multiple dimension tables. They're going to create the lookup tables here. Okay, some lookup tables they are going to create here. Means how they are going to create means, for example, this product, this team product only, they are going to split into maybe another 2 tables. So they're going to store the brand information into this table. Instead of here, they're going to hear the brand ID, brand code, brand name. Okay, something like that. Okay, they're going to add the, here they're going to remove this one. So brand information they're going to add. So like that, the other information, whatever the information is there, that information they're going to add into another table. So automatically the table size will be decreased. The size it won't increase drastically here. So instead of one table, we are going to create the multiple tables. So the same product, they're going to create the multiple tables. Okay. So that time, for example, here, take the one more here, time dimension. So only daily related information in this table, week information here, or quarter information here, or year date information in this table. Like that, they're going to split into multiple tables here. See, so the split means automatically the table it won't be problem. Okay, or like this. Yeah. So like that. Okay. So the definition of the Snowflake schema is, the Snowflake schema is a extension of the star schema. The dimensions of tables are split, extended into multiple dimensions, split into multiple dimensions. That is a Snowflake schema. So they're going to split the data, whatever the data is, the category of the data, they're going to separate small lookup tables. They're going to generate the small lookup tables. So all the brand information they're going to load here. For example, items are there. Item is Q items are there. Items is there. So each item, each shirt or pant or some whatever the accessories, it will generate one item, right? Product ID it will generate, right? So all product ID will, so huge amount of products are there. Okay, it will be every day it will be generating the new items, new IDs. The data will be huge here. That's why they're going to split the data into multiple tables. SKU information one place, product information one place, accessories information, men's or women's or category, department information, classes information. So like that they are going to split into multiple tables. I'll show you how they are going to split in the one project. This is guys product table. So how they are going to split in the real time, how they are going to split into how many tables they splitted. This is one product dimension. This dimension they are going to split into company level, division level. Division means men's, women's or kids or something. Okay, and then group, department, sub department, class, subclass, item, SKU. SKU means the product ID. Each item, for example, you could take any pen. The per pen also they will give us some code, right? Scan code. So that information here. So like that, they are going to split into multiple tables. Okay, this is the real time they're going to split. How they're going to split the table. So one table they're going to split this many tables. One product dimension they're going to split into this many small lookup tables. Okay, I'll show you the location dimension also, how they're going to split. Where is the location? Yeah, see the table names, how the column names are there. SKU code, SKU name, SKU description, pattern code, pattern description, fashion code, fashion description, style code. So all those things, coding, size, everything they're going to here mention. See how it will be the real time. Buyer name, season profile, sleeve, price, everything will be there like this. Okay. So item code, item name, item description, brand code, brand name, manufacturer code, manufacturer name, cluster code, cluster name. So all whatever the related information, they're going to split into multiple tables. Okay. Yeah, see the location hierarchy. See, so country, state, city, location. So location information one table, city information one table, states information, country information. Okay, like that they're going to split the tables. Okay, the same. This is the only same only guys, but this is the naming convention is different. This is our India level. This is will be the US level. They call it a region. So we call as a state, city, all those things. But they say the region, district, location. Okay, area they call like this in the US. This is the way of difference. Okay, so like that. So this is a time dimension: year, season, quarter, month, week, day. Okay, understand right? The snowflake schema. The snowflake schema mainly they are going to enhancement of the star schema. Okay, but it will be extended of the dimension table. One fact table will be connected with the dimension table. Those dimensions can be split into multiple dimension tables. Either it could be one or more tables. That also. Okay, that is a snowflake schema. So based on the requirement, they will choose any one of the schema, either star schema or snowflake schema. So the interview point of view, they will ask which model, which schema you are going to use. You can go for, you can tell the star schema only. Because it won't come much questions if you tell the star schema. If you tell the snowflake schema, they will ask the number of questions, more questions. Okay, what is it? Tell me what is the hierarchy? Your table hierarchy means I showed you just now. This is the hierarchy. Hierarchy is nothing but the relationship between the one table to another table. The relationship that we call as a hierarchy. Okay, these kind of more questions they will going to ask. Okay, that is why 70% they are going to use the star schema. Remaining 30% in the real times they are going to use the snowflake schema. It bit understanding wise it will be difficult to understand for snowflake schema because the number of lookup tables are more. Okay, you have to understand the. So in the star schema you can able to understand easily what is the particular week, particular brand sales means directly you can go to week we have to go these two tables join. That's it. So date, time, sales, and product. We have to give these two tables join, and then we can able to retrieve the data. But come to the Snowflake schema means we have to give join between the brand ID to product ID, and product ID to sales. This is the one join, two joins here, and then date. So the number of lookup tables are increase here. The joins will increase because of due to the number of lookup tables. Okay, that's why understanding will be difficult here. Okay, but the advantage means the number of lookup tables are more, so data processing will be easy here. Query performance will be improve here. Query performance will be improve in the Snowflake schema, but the understanding will be difficult. That is a disadvantage. The Snowflake schema. Vice versa. Star schema and Snowflake is the advantage, disadvantages are the vice versa. Okay, there will be easy to understand. Here difficult to understand. Their query performance will be decreased. Here query performance will be increased due to the number of lookup tables. Okay, this is the star schema and Snowflake schema. Okay, guys.
Raman,
So,
one
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
For simple star schema, it is one fact table to one dimension table or one fact table to multiple
No.
dimension table?
The one fact table to multiple, one or more dimension tables.
Okay,
So
and complex star
Complex
is multiple fact table to multiple dimension table, right?
Yeah, multiple tables. So for example, this is the complex schema. For example, you could take here fact inventory. Take the fact inventory. This is the fact inventory or fact purchase or anything. This is a fact inventory. So I'm going to give the some names. Product ID, store ID, time ID. See, the customer, it won't come in the inventory, guys. There is no relationship between the inventory and customer. Customer doesn't want the how much inventory is there, what is the inventory, all those things, right? Only customer is related to the only sales table only. The relation between the customer and sales will be only sales only. The transactions happen in the they will do the transaction, and then it will generate the sales data. That's the only customer. So he won't related to any purchase order table. He won't related to any inventory table. Okay. So how much stock is there? How much is there? How much the store guys are ordered to the purchase. So those all kind of information is it's none of the business for the dim customers. Okay. If it's out of stock means out of stock. That's it. So you won't related to the inventory. Okay. That's why we are not using inventory join here. Okay. And beginning of the inventory, end of the inventory. So like that it will be there. Okay. So this one they're going to give the join. So date ID to date ID, location to location, product to product. So like that they're going to give the join. So this is the complex like that. Whatever the tables are there, like this they're going to build the schema. Okay. Understand, right? This is a complex star schema.
Yes, yeah, got it.
So Snowflake also same. Snowflake also same. It will be symbol or star. It will be extension of the star schema only Snowflake. But the dimension tables here are split into multiple dimensions. Either it could be one or more, depends upon their requirement. Okay. Or sometimes it won't be extend also. It won't delete. It will be single table only. That is a different. Depends upon their requirement. They're going to split the dimension tables. Okay. It's not a mandatory to split all the dimension tables in the Snowflake. Okay. For example, dim employee is there. Dim employee was they won't split into multiple dimensions. The same information, small information will be their employee table. So it won't. They won't split. Okay. But the customer table, maybe they are going to split address, everything will email address, contact information. They're going to separate tables. Okay. Or customer ID, customer name, they are going to separate in separate tables like that. Okay. So these are the star schema and snowflake schema. So in the real time, they're going to build based on these models only. They're going to build the projects. Either they go for the star schema or snowflake schema. Depends upon their business functionality, business requirement, how they're going to get the data. Okay, based on that, they're going to build choose any of the one of the schema. Okay. So I will share this document also, guys. But don't share to anyone, please. So this is a real-time project only. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So next we'll go for the. So you can see the snowflake schema, how they are going the design. The fact says they're going to store table. They're going to split into two tables. One is the geography location table, geography country. Okay. Here fat sales the dim product, they're going to split into multiple brand information, product category information. Okay. But here to here the joins will be there. You can see here this ID will be there. Here geography ID is there. Here the geography ID is there. This is the primary key and this is the foreign key here. Okay, but here this is the primary key and here the foreign key. Okay, so relationship, you can see that that's why they given the symbol. Okay, this symbol means primary key symbol. Here they won't give me say foreign key symbol here. So foreign key, primary key and foreign key, same thing, primary key and foreign key, and then primary key and foreign key. Okay, see what is the time.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Here actually there is a no for primary key, sir.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Sir, fact table there is a no primary key, sir.
It won't be there. Primary key, it won't be there. So they will generate the surrogate key. I will tell you that concept. Okay, but in the fat sales, all business keys will be there. The reference of the dimension keys. Okay, so dimension key references will be there in the fact tables. That's it. That's why it will be numerical data along with the keys, referential keys of the dimension tables. Dimension table keys will be there in the fact table. Okay, it won't be the primary keys. So any doubts, guys, up to here? Star schema and snowflake schema. So we have the one more schema is there, the galaxy schema. It is a combination of the common dimensions are there. It's a combination of the both star and snowflake schema. This one. Okay, that's why. So they won't even in the interview point of view they won't ask. See, this is one table, fact table. This is one fact table. This is the sales fact table. Here the purchase fact table. So here this time dimension or product dimension. Okay, they are going to use in the both places. They are going to use the both places. These kind of dimensions we call as a conformal dimensions. The dimension table can be used more than one fact table. Those kind of dimensions we call as a conformal dimensions. So they will ask interview point of view this question, guys. What is conformal dimension? They will ask that question in the interview. Okay, the conformal dimension is nothing but the table dimension table. Whatever the dimension table we are going to use in more than one fact table. Okay, but you can see here this dimension we are using the fact sales, same dimension table we are using the inventory table. Okay, that's why this date dimension is called as a conformal dimension, even product. But come to the dim customer. So dim customer we are not going to use in the inventory table. Only the dim customer we are going to use in the sales table only. So it's not a conformal dimension. Dim customer is a not a dimension, not a conformal dimension. Okay. So with example means you can tell the product and location or date. So these are the kind of conformal dimensions they're going to use into the sales table, fact inventory table, and purchase table. So all the places they're going to use in the same dimension. Okay. Glass schema contains many factors with some common dimensions. Okay. This is a combination of the many data marks. Combination of the many data marks. Okay. It's not that much important, guys. So leave it this one. And this also. The dimensions in the schema segregate into independent dimensions based on the level of the hierarchy. So it will be it will come as a snowball schema. So based on the snowball schema, they're going to build this fact constellation. Okay, it's kind of a snowball schema, this one. So it was no one is using these two schemas. So 99% they're going to use the either star schema or snowball schema, guys. Okay, just focus on these two schemas we as part of the real time. Okay. Any doubt, guys, here up to? Okay. Then next we'll go for the dimension types. We'll go for the dimension types. Okay. Dimension types. So earlier we discussed the fact types, right? Now we'll go for the dimension types. Okay. These dimension types. One is the conformal dimension. Conformal dimension. So just now I told what is conformal dimension. The conformal dimension is nothing but, so what are the dimension? We are going to use multiple fact tables. The same dimension we are going to use in multiple dimension fact tables. Those kind of dimensions we call as a conformal dimensions. Okay. So example will be product dimension, time dimension, and location dimension. So these dimensions we are going to use into either sales table or inventory table or purchase table or ledger, stock ledger. Many places we are going to use into these kind of dimensions. So these dimensions we call as a conformal dimensions. Okay. Next will be junk dimension. So see, these junk dimensions are, so they're going to store into the fact table. But the naming convention will be dimension, but they're going to store these dimensions are it's not related to any of the dimension table. These kind of attributes, junk dimension attributes, it's not at all related to any of the dimension tables. These dimensions they're going to store into the fact tables. So till now what I told, the fact table will be numerical data along with the referential keys. These two will be stored into the fact table, right? I told. But now I'm going to add one more attribute in the fact table, that is a junk dimension attributes. Means what is in by junk dimension attribute means, I'll tell you. I'll explain with example. Here I'm going to add one more column. Okay, action item, type of sale. Type of sale. Okay, so what is meant by type of sale? For example, take the Flipkart or anything, Flipkart. So you ordered one, you did one transaction, you placed one order, right? So after you received the order, you already paid through credit card or somewhere, or COD, cash on delivery, whatever. So you received that product. Then after maybe 2-3 days, again you given the return. Okay, So it's not the product is not good up to the quality or some other regions. So you return that product. Okay. Again they're sent to the amount, right? They send back to the amount to return. So that's why the type of sale means it will be actual sales or return sale or promotion sales. Sometimes we are going to give the apply the promotions, right? So credit card promotions or something, some promo code we are going to apply. So automatically they're going given some discount. So that amount also they have to calculate, right, for their business. How much we are giving the discount, okay, the promotion discount. So that's why there is a sale only, sale amount only. Okay. So whatever the amount we are doing the transactions, either actual sales or return sales or promotion sales. So these kind of information they're going to store into this year column type of sale, or some textual description. One more thing, I'll add one more column, flag, active transaction. So the transaction successfully completed after return sales completion means we not get any return, we not get the any return sales or something, anything happen. So the transaction will be active, actual transaction. Then we are given the true or false. So 1 and 0. Okay, some we are applying the some codes. Okay, so these kind of measures we are going to store into the fact sales, fact tables. These kind of attributes we are going to store into the fact tables. But these attributes, it's not related to any of the dimension tables. It's not related to any of the dimension tables. So these kind of attributes we call as a junk dimension or dirty dimensions. Junk dimension or dirty dimensions. The definition will be the junk dimension or dirty dimensions are the any transactional codes or flags are going to store into the any of the fact table. Random transactional codes or flags. Random transactional codes or flags. So these kind of attributes, textual description, they're going to store into the fact table. Now tell me, what are the fields are there in attributes? Now it will be there numerical values, referential keys, and transactional codes or random transactional codes or flags. So these all kind of attributes are storing into the fact table. Along with the numerical data, we are going to store keys as well as the some random transactional codes or flags. Okay. I'll show you the mapping sheet. RPD changes, tables, test cases. Let's see here if there anything is there here. I'll show you. See guys, you can see the logic here. Action code. This is the column name will be action code. This is that junk dimension. We call it as a junk. This kind of will be junk dimension. Okay. So the business unit key. This is the referential keys. These are the referential keys. Okay. These are the numerical values. Account, amount, local, or something. These are the numerical values. Okay. So here how they are going to calculate the f underscore sales quantity less than 0, there will be sales transaction. And if all the values f underscore sales are greater than 0, then it will be return transactions. Means we are given the return. The sales quantity will be greater than 0 means again they are going to give it back. So based like that they are going to generate the logic. They're going to find it will be sales transaction or return transaction. Okay, these kind of information it will be there in the transactional codes or random values. It will be stored into the here in the action code. Okay, or I will show you some other indicators, either true or false. Okay, indicators. So current indicator is there. So it will be true or false, 1 and 0. So these we call as a junk dimensions. Okay, see, these are the numerical values: cancel amount, cancel quantity, cancel units. Okay, I'll tell you these two also. I'll explain you next. Okay, the reference, you can see the reference keys, cust key, the referential means parent keys. So date key, they're given the reference keys. Okay, so the extended amount is nothing but the, for example, we give some exchange. So that time we are going to pay some amount, right? Extended amount, something, those kind of things they are going to capture here. I'll show you some other examples for the junk dimensions. RSN code, some code value. So these kind of columns, these are the fact table columns, guys. One table, how many columns here there you can see. So one table, they are going to use these many columns. So that's why I told the number of columns will be increased more in the table. See, almost for a single table, almost 300 columns are, sorry, not 300, sorry, 116 columns are there in the sales table. Different transactions, different information they are going to store into the all the information in the one table, single table. Okay, almost 116 table columns are there. In the real time, it will be like that only data, guys. Here we are understanding purpose. We are saying simply, we are just giving the one or two examples I'm explaining. Okay, clear, guys? So junk dimension is clear, right? So as of now, I explained the confirmed dimension, junk dimension. So junk dimensions are the transactional codes, random transactional codes, okay, or flags going to store into the fact table. But these dimensions, it won't be related to any of the particular dimension table. Okay, junk dimensions are stored into the fact tables. Okay, next one more will be there, the dimension type degenerated. Yeah, sorry, spelling will be degenerated dimension. So degenerated dimensions. So the degenerated dimension is, it won't be related to any of the dimension table. It will store into the fact table. So example will be the transactional codes. So whenever we are doing any transaction, it will generate the one unique ID, right? It's going to generate the one unique ID. The transactional codes are going to generate the one unique ID. So those kind of IDs will be, every time it will be generated a new value. Okay, whenever we are doing the transaction, every time it will be generated a new ID, order ID, right? So those kind of information is going to store into the fact table only, the transaction ID. Okay, example will be transaction ID. So here you can see the real time how it will be there. Somewhere we have seen the two columns, order ID, all those things. Original transaction number. Okay, so these kind of things, original transaction number. Okay, so these kind of measures we call as a degenerated dimensions. Okay, always it will generate the new ID, new value. But in the junk dimension, we are going to take the transactional codes, means the same 4 or 5 columns are there, 4 codes are there. The same thing we are going to repeat the column every time. Either sales transaction, return transaction, promotional transaction. So these kind of things. Okay, or flags 1 or 0. Every time will be either it could be 1 or 0. That's it. But come to the degeneration dimension, always it generate the new value. It will store the new value. Means transaction ID, we call as a transaction ID. Okay, so these kind of dimensions we call as a degenerated dimension, but it will store into the store into the fact tables. It won't be related to any of the dimension table. Okay. This is the column name. I'm searching the column name. So this is one of the degeneration dimension, original transaction code. Yeah. So those kind of measures, guys. I think I couldn't find any other here. See, the degeneration dimensions are always will be new value. It will generate into the each transaction. Okay, new value it will generate the each transaction. New value each row, each transaction. Okay, those kind of transactions, those kind of columns we call as a degenerated column dimensions. Okay, it will store into the only dimension fact tables. So it won't relate to any of the dimension tables. These columns, these two are the fact table. It will store into the fact tables. Okay, guys, any doubts here up to now? So tomorrow we are going to discuss the important topic SCDs, slowly changing dimension. Okay, if there any other topics are there, we are going to discuss tomorrow. So mostly day after tomorrow, tomorrow we are going to start the SQL also. So up to now, these are the which are we required as part of the testing concepts are required. Yeah, guys, any doubts? Okay.
No, I'm good.